This is Jamila Blue with Conscious Michiana. We are so excited about the upcoming Mind Body Spirit Festival and all of the activities and things that are going to be happening. One of the things we are most excited about is having Melisa Gunter here with us. She is a traveling yogi, which she's going to tell you what that means here in a moment. And she's also going to be leading a class and an activity, and she will also have a booth. Melissa, how are you doing?
I'm great, Jamila. Thanks for having me.
So glad we could get together to do this. Let's start with what is a traveling yogi? Let's talk about that first.
All right. So, Traveling Yogi is my business, and I am a yoga instructor. I became certified in 2018. And after that, I decided I wanted to take my business on the road as opposed to opening up a yoga studio or working at one already here in the community. I decided there was a need for people to experience yoga, but didn't maybe feel comfortable walking into a studio on their own, maybe due to accessibility issues or just their own comfort. So, with my business, I come to you or your group of people. It could be at your workplace or a community center. And I travel the region around South Bend into southern Michigan as well. And I bring you the not only the yoga class, but I also provide the yoga mats and the yoga props to really help make your yoga experience as great as possible.
I really love that. What a wonderful service that is
Thank you.
to the Michiana community. You don't even have to leave your house, y'all. Melissa can come on over and just be that private instructor right there with you to be able to take care of your yoga needs. I love that. Love that so much. Let's talk about your class. Let me say that again. Unlocking your practice, a yoga props workshop. What does that mean and what can people expect?
Okay. So in the yoga props workshop, I will be teaching people how to safely and properly use yoga props that you may have not used before, or maybe you've been given one but didn't really know what to do with it. So for example, yoga blocks or yoga straps or bolsters, blankets, all of those are tools that you can use to make any sort of yoga pose more accessible to you. Sometimes we need to just bring the floor up a little bit by placing hands on a block or a bolster. Just simple little changes like that in a yoga pose can really bring about more benefits and just make you feel safer in the pose.
Wow, that's so incredible. So like if I have a hard time touching the ground on some of those yoga poses, I could put a block under my hands and I can still get that
Correct.
support that I need to be able to really go into that pose or that stretch. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, everyone's bodies are different. So a lot of times, the picture, quote unquote, picture perfect yoga pose that you see in like yoga journals or magazines are just maybe not for you or maybe not available to you. Everyone's body is different. So that's where yoga props come in to help people attain those poses in their practice.
Perfect. That's wonderful. Do people need to bring their own props or is that something that you'll be supplying for them?
You are welcome to bring your own props if you would feel more comfortable with that, but don't feel like you need to. I will have yoga straps, blocks, mats, and some blankets and bolsters as well.
Oh my gosh, you are a full service yogi, aren't you? Oh my goodness.
Yep.
I love
And
those things.
I'll have the sanitizing spray and towels as well.
Beautiful. Beautiful. We definitely need to take all of the extra precautions of keeping everything very sanitized for sure.
Correct.
For sure. Let's talk about the activity that you're going to have. You are an avid bird watcher. Let's first talk about that and then go into the activity.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, aside from yoga, birding is a big passion of mine. Just watching native birds in your backyard or in your local wildlife area that you like to walk in or going on a walk near the river. I mean, anywhere you find birds. You could be walking in downtown South Bend and see birds. Um, it's been a long passion of mine, probably since college. And I'm now part of the Audubon Society, the local chapter, South Bend Elkhart Audubon. And I am the education chair. And so one thing I do with that role is I teach others about birds and the importance of protecting them and their habitat. I just love teaching new people about them just so they can gain an appreciation for birds. For me personally, birds do bring about a sense of peace and almost brings me into a meditative space when I'm walking through the woods or even in my neighborhood and just seeing all just those little creatures, those beautiful creatures that just, they're just great. So what I'll be doing at the festival is I will have a whole box of binoculars and I will walk a group of people that are interested in doing this around the park and find whatever birds we can find. One notable bird I'll be keeping an eye out and I hope we'll see that day is the red-headed woodpecker, which is a bird that is now considered a state of concern in Indiana. It used to be way more prevalent, but unfortunately, due to habitat loss, they are becoming way more infrequent. But Potawatomi Park has the ideal habitat for them. So we will be keeping our eyes out for the red-headed woodpecker.
I love that so much. Woodpeckers are just so much fun, aren't they? Just to be able to see them going into making those little holes and burrowing in. And I mean, it can be a little annoying if you're like have one like close by and you're like trying to take a nap in the middle of the afternoon, but we love our birds and we definitely want to be able to really be mindful of them and be able to look at them with that curiosity and see them in that way, I think is so good. And as you had mentioned before, what a wonderful mindful practice bird watching
Yes,
is and
it
can be.
brings you it brings you right into the present moment through the sense of sight and the sound. So that just it's a very grounding feeling, not thinking
Mm.
about tomorrow or worrying about things in the past. You're just focusing right on the here and the now.
One of my favorite things that, happens, all the time, and I'm sure it happens to you as well, is when you are in that meditative space and you have that thought that comes through, or that maybe you're having a conversation with someone and it's something that's of importance or a decision, and you hear like a crow call or you hear a bird just kind of chime in at just the perfect spot, that it's just a wonderful affirmation of whatever might be
Yeah,
going on. They're
exactly.
beautiful messengers, and to be able to tap into the present moment, as you'd said, and to be able to recognize they are messengers and to be able to honor that with them. It's just so
Yes,
beautiful.
yes, yes, totally. I agree with everything you said.
And you are also going to have a booth. Tell us what your booth is going to involve and if you're doing anything special at your booth.
Okay, so yeah, my booth will have information about my business with brochures that you can take, and it will have info about, bringing yoga to your workplace. There's sometimes some hurdles to make that happen. Talk to the right people about that in your workplace. So I kind of help give people tools to make that happen, just to help having those conversations with like HR and just the people above. And then I'll also be talking about my services that I offer, like in-home yoga classes that I can do for you and maybe your spouse or partner. And yeah, I'm there to answer any questions you also may have about your own yoga practice. Maybe you're having difficulty with a certain pose. I'll have a couple yoga mats out there by my booth, so we can kind of dive a little bit deeper into any specific questions you might have.
Oh, wonderful. All right. So if I need help doing an eagle pose, for an example, like to be able to fine tune my method, you can help me with that.
Correct. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
What, Melissa, is there a particular style or school of yoga that you follow or practice predominantly?
My yoga teacher training was in hatha-based alignment yoga. So what that means is my practice that I typically take people through is a little bit slower paced than say your vinyasa flow type classes. I focus a lot on alignment and making sure that each pose is done in the correct way, in a safe way, and um, not only doing the pose correctly, but getting moving into the pose, holding the pose, and then moving out of the pose. Each pose has three parts to it. So we just want to always be mindful of our movement. And that's why my sessions tend to move a little bit slower. But I think it's still effective and I think people benefit from it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Well, thank you for all that you do and what you bring to our community. It is so helpful. And I'm so excited for all of that you will be offering at the festival. Melissa, is there anything that we've not talked about that you would like to make sure that you mention?
My only other comment is just gratitude for you and your organization and just making this happen in our community is so important. Just bringing people together, focusing on mindfulness, coming into their bodies, and just, you know, that positive energy, that positive space is just, it's really important, like I said. And I'm so excited to be a part of it this year and years to come. So thank you.
You're welcome. We are all in this together as each of us level up in our own lives. We're able to level up collectively, and it just
Yeah.
helps enrich our community at large even more so. So thank you. Thank you for being a part.
Yeah.
All right. See you at the festival, Melissa.
Okay. We'll see
Take
you
care.
there. Bye bye.